Shalawam Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah by YAHAWASHI, the Bawanas to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalawam to Lek out there doing his work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. All right, now I want to get into a topic basically about the power of the tongue, because we know in this truth that first and foremost everything is spiritual, you know. Secondarily, things are brought into the physical based off of what is manifested in the spiritual realm, whether we, uh, think certain things, the Most High brings in the past, um, different things that the angels just have in store, the words that they're given from the Most High, to pass on down, the different spirits, that could be on somebody, whether righteous spirits or so-called, well, I put it like this, right hand spirits, the spirits on the right hand side and the spirits on the left hand side, whatever, job that the Most High has them whisper into your ear, to bring into fruition as well. You can wind up speaking those things and actually bringing those things into existence. And as of lately, there's been a lot of talk about life, death, and the power of the tongue. And so many people getting um, things misconstrued that by saying, if you speak about death, that doesn't mean anything, and different things like that. When you look about people that were constantly obsessed with death, what did the Most High bring unto them? Death. you know, but people don't get that because they're not looking at things from the spiritual aspect. But when you look at things from the spiritual aspect, it all thoroughly makes sense. All right, so this is Proverbs 18:21. Uh, Matter of fact, yeah, let me start from here. Proverbs 18:20. A man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth. All right, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. Okay, so a man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth, meaning, well, in your belly, it can represent the mind. So your mind is usually satisfied with the things that come out of your mouth, the things that you spew forth. That's the fruit that you're planting. Okay. Obviously, if a planter or a gardener, a farmer, they're planting things, they expect, they're planting seeds. They expect those things to come back unto them uh, in a righteous manner. But if this gardener or farmer, they don't use the right ingredients, or if they don't take care of what they planted, then obviously they won't be satisfied on another end, and they'll reap the opposite. Okay, and the opposite of life of a plant or something growing is what? Death. Okay, and with the increase of his lips he shall be filled. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. All right, so the Most High is using this comparison, to let you know that what? Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So you have the ability to be able to speak death into existence, or you have the ability to be able to speak life into existence. Now, who knows when those things can ultimately happen? That's all up to the Most High, and if the Most High bring those things to pass. But this is what it all stems from, you know. So if you love to talk about death, that's the fruit that you're going to eat of. That's the seed in which you're sowing. If you speak more about life, then that's the fruit that you're sowing. And ultimately, what we're doing through the name of Yahawah Shemi Awashai, Bashar Kakwadash, we speaking life into our people, you know, by telling them who they are, by waking them up through the Spirit of the Lord. Not us really waking them up, but just delivering the word as prophets, telling them who they are, let them know about the prophecies, let them know about the end, the things that are to come. We're speaking life into existence, okay? Life unto those of the hopeful elect, that are seeking just as we are seeking, as we hope to be a part of that hopeful elect, and we want to eat of the righteous fruit of life, and real quick, I want to give it just a point, because people thinking that like you can people will say stupid things in the reference of, well, if this person was only, just doing this like I told them, they wouldn't be dead right now. When the Most High call your number, that's it, man. That's it. All right. This is Slakia. This is Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So it's the Lord that brings these things to pass, whether good happens in your life, whether bad happens in your life. Period. All right? The Most High created all sides of the coin, so to speak. Okay? Now, it's another example, example in which we always get into, to let you know that how the Most High controls these things, and when He controls these things or put things into play, there's no turning that back, man. It's like, say like in the playoffs, since the NBA Finals just went off, right? Say it could be game, whatever game it is, game 3. It's 10 seconds left. You have no timeouts. Once that play gets in motion, there's no taking that play back. Simple as that. Once that play goes full, if no fouls or anything, doesn't happen, that stop the clock for a temporary point, there's still no bringing that time back. You wasted 5 seconds off the clock, and you made a bad pass, but luckily, the opposite team, the opposing team, hit it out. You just wasted 5 seconds off the clock. You can't get that 5 seconds back, man. Time doesn't turn back for us. We can only move forward in this thing, man. This is the book of 1 Kings 22:19. And this is all for the people, that truly don't know any better, that truly don't have understanding on these subjects. You ignorant people of the world. And when I say ignorant, just not knowing. Also, you ignorant niggas out there as well. All right. So it's 1 Kings 22:19. It says, and he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. So he had, spirits on the right side of him, and had spirits on the left side of him, which do various jobs. And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. So that angels were having a discussion of how they were going to bring down Ahab. And the Lord did what? He put this into motion, because he spoke about this. All right, so the Most High is trying to get the plan in motion, and for the angels to decide on it. All right. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith, meaning how? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all of his prophets. And he said, thou shalt, now this is the Most High, and he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Now therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil concerning thee. So this is the play, or this is thing in which the Most High put in motion. So once He put this plan in motion, it's not going to be stopped. Period. Now people may say, well, then how does the Lord forgive or different things like that? Because if the Most High forgives, or if the Most High reserves, uh, or the Most High reserves to hold back judgment from a person, that play was already in motion as well. The Most High already knew that person was going to repent, that person was going to do such and such, to make amends for whatever wrong that they do, or to make amends for various wrongs in which we do. So He already has that play in motion. Okay, so everything that's why these are what? The scriptures, because it is all written, all right, in movie form. It's already written. So, the Most High has this playbook out, the script out, and the movie is playing itself out. You can't take back none of the movie because the movie is in motion, all right. And this is a live movie, and just to go back to another a quick point, because about putting things in motion, right? This is the book of Hebrews 6:18. Right? I started at verse 17. Wherein YAHAWAH willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise the immutability of His counsel, confirmed it by oath. So real quick, look up that, see if I get anything out of this word immutability. All right, it says not transposed, not to be transferred, fixed, unalterable. Okay, so that's the point here, unalterable. All right, unchangeability. Right, so the things that as I said, the things that the Most High puts into play, you can't, it can't be taken back. All right. Verse 18, it says that by two immutable things in which it was impossible for YAHAWAH to lie, all right, we might have a strong consolation, who have fled for refuge, to lay hold upon the hope set before us. So the Most High can't lie, and it's impossible for Him to lie. So as far as Him, the Most High granting us, the promises, unto our forefathers and down to us, that's set in stone. As far as whether man is meant to go at any given time, that's set in stone. Whether a man is going to continue to live through whatever trials, tribulations, and different things he's going through, it's set in stone. Whether it's some brothers that are going to make it to the end and not taste of death, on the side, and not have to, be tortured to death, that's set in stone. And some brothers are going to have to be tortured to death. We're going to be martyrs for the Lord. That's set in stone. However, the Most High's will is His will, and nobody can change that, man. And so what? The word immutability meaning what? Unchangeable. So nobody can take that back, and there's nothing you can do about any given situation, about someone that passed, or if they would have just been in this situation. There is no if, ands, or buts with the Most High when it comes to stuff like that, man. And people have to come to that realization, right? Another quick example. This is Isaiah 31:2. Yet He also is wise, and will bring evil, and will not call back His words. All right, but will arise against the house of the evildoers, and against the help of them that work iniquity. So as I said, the Most High will not call back His words, man. Period. Once everything is in a play, we on a time clock, man. It's a time clock for certain prophecies when they're going to be set forth and to fully play out. There's a time clock as far as the elect waking up. It's a time clock for everything, man. But people feel as though that they're on their own time. Now we on the Most High's time. But people say, "Oh, this." It's a slang talk with Jay to say, "Oh, well, this is the type of time I'm on." Well, you need to be on the Most High's time. That's what type of time we on. So one more precept real quick, all right? And it's like it. is the book of Psalms 107:9. For he satisfieth the longing soul and filleth the hungry soul with goodness. So a man that's diligently seeking the Lord, or someone that's seeking the right way of life, the Most High is going to fulfill that hungry soul with goodness, man. And the right things of life. Someone that's actually looking to live, or looking to, the right way of life and how to go about things. That person is going to be filled with life and not death. All right. Verse 11. Verse 10. Such as sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, being bound in affliction and iron, because they rebelled against the words of the Most High and contemned the counsel of the Most High. Hey, and this is also a good scripture that just made me think of, in reference to, us doing hardcore slavery. Uh, this is why most of our people are sitting in the darkness as far as their mind is concerned. Gross darkness covering the people, and in the shadow of death. You could reply this, refer this to America, but ultimately, them just following the shadow of Egypt. That's a part of the shadow of death. Them being in the philosophies and the ways of America, constantly being bound in affliction and iron. But because our people sit in this manner, ultimately, it's nothing but death waiting for them when they're sitting in this ignorant mind state and thinking that they can go about things how they see fit, and and not taking the Most High as seriously as they should. So with that, I just hope this segment was clear and cut to the point. And I like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone, and Shalawam to Lek out there doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. Shalawam.